Hi, welcome back to Shawnee Hill's Workshop. In my last video about the Powermatic, we got my old Craftsman out of the way, got the Powermatic moved out here, got it put on a mobile base, and that's pretty much where we stopped. In today's video, we're going to attach the fence system as well as the side table, and then I'll get it leveled up and try to figure out about where it's going to be so then I can start getting a plan of attack for the outfeed table. Lucky for me, it's only been about 1.5 or 2 years since I bought this saw, so I should have no problems at all remembering how to put it back together.
It was a morning in June when I heard that tune falling up to the beat of your heart like a white rain.
At this moment, I'm only hand tightening everything. I'm going to get the front and the back on and make sure I feel like I've got everything where it needs to be and got all the right bolts in the correct places. And then once I know that, I will tighten them up and then attach the piece of square tubing that goes on the front that the fence runs on. Now after I get the fence installed, I plan on hooking up the power to this and seeing it run for the first time. So that'll be exciting. Now you might ask why I didn't make sure it ran before I went through all the work of putting the fence on. Well, the reason is the worst thing that could possibly be wrong is the motor needs to be replaced. And if that needs to be replaced, then I will replace it. Basically, I've got this thing so cheap that I'm not gonna, not fix it.
From a startled trail, our eyes met and then landed so well. Before you could speak, before you could weep, I held your hand in mine like a shell on a beach, waiting for your reach, falling up to the mountain to climb. You came reassuring, Mother Nature's procuring, there's no need for doubt in this life. You came reassuring, Mother Nature's procuring, there's no need for doubt in this mind. And our eyes align like the sun through the pines in a silent space.
Oh wow. It's been a long time since I've had a table saw that adjusts well. Been a long time since I've had a table saw I could tilt. The cord that is on the table saw here is only about 5 feet long or so, and my 220 volt plug is about 20 feet away, only because I've got to go up and around my dust collection and over to get to it to keep it from just running across the floor. And I have a ton of this 10-3 SOW cable. I can't remember why my dad had it. It seems like it was on one of the jobs he did, one of the houses he built. But regardless, I've got tons of it, and it's been great to run power for my all my heavy duty machinery here because it's very flexible, and it's actually a water resistance. SOW is weather resistant. So, it's also a great cable to run stuff outdoors with, but it works good here in the shop, and it's flexible enough I can run it up and wrap it around my dust collection and take it to where it needs to be. So I've got 2 ends here, one that matches the end of my plug on the wall and another that matches the end on this table saw. So we're going to make us up a cord.
What's the one at the bottom for?
That's for a neutral if you have it, but we don't have a neutral. I'm not really good at answering that question. It's real similar to a ground, but there's a difference, and I can't answer you and be sure I'm telling you the right answer. So I'm not going to tell you. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to tell you wrong.
disorderly life. I let go of my hand in the jar. For the great moon in the middle of June, falling up to the pole of the tide. Though I've seen it before, nothing I've ever.
Well, she works. Motor sounds really good. I was eyeballing the blade and the shaft really well. They both seem to have zero play in them, no wobble at all, so that's good. I'm going to clean off my outfeed table and see how square the fence is to the blade and check the squareness of the blade to the table and to the T-slots. And then we'll cut a piece of wood. Now, I am by no means an expert at setting up a table saw, but the first thing I do is I set the fence up in line with the slot there. And I can tell that when it's perfectly flush here, I'm about, I don't even know, maybe a couple thousandths out at the end. And if a fence has to be out, I'd rather it be out that way as opposed to the far end being closer to the blade. But you know, we may adjust that, we may not. Sometimes I actually leave my fences just a hair out on the back side. Then, with the blade all the way up, I check and see what it's like when it's right up against the blade. All right. That actually looks perfect with the blade, so that may mean that our top is out of square with the blade. So I'm going to go get my dial indicator and we'll find out.
Can touch this feeling inside. You came reassuring, Mother Nature's procuring. There's no need for doubt in his mind. You came reassuring, Mother Nature's procuring. There's no need for doubt in his mind. And our eyes align like the sun through the pines, in a silent space, in a cup full of time. In these orderly ways, in this disorderly life, I let go of my hand in the jar. And
All right, so now I'm going to move the fence over and check the fence. So it's definitely the fence. So, like I said earlier, it's definitely the fence out, just going out to the right a little bit. I will probably adjust that. Not going to do that today. I'm going to work with the saw a little bit, make a few test cuts before I start messing with it. Because as I said earlier, sometimes I'll even let my fence be just a little bit out in that direction. Now, where that can be a problem is if you're the kind of person that moves your fence over onto the left side of the blade. I don't do that. I'm not a fan of having the fence on the left side of the blade and never have been. So I can't think of a single time I've done that. But that being said, it's still something that you may not be comfortable with. You know, I am by no means a machinist. I don't even want to claim to be anywhere close to that. But it's amazing. You know, this is just a cheap little Harbor Freight dial indicator, but it's amazing what it can help you do. Something you can't do with a tape measure is a job like this to tell what is parallel to the miter slot, because you just can't see that small of a difference with a tape measure, or at least I can't. I'm sure there's some people out there that can. All right, I think we're going to fire it up and make a test cut. Now I'm making sure to cut a piece that is big enough to where nothing's going to fall down in the throat until I can either make an insert, a zero clearance insert, or buy a replacement Powermatic one. I don't want to mess with that. But here we go. I'm also going to have to change the control, the on button. I'm used to having a knee switch over here on my right knee, and I keep reaching for my right hand for the switch and it's not there. Okay. Well, I can definitely notice when I was running the board through, so the blade will want to try to keep the piece of wood square. And so as you're going through, it's trying to keep it straight, and I can tell that the back of the piece of wood was coming off of the fence. So it's just nice to confirm what you think you already know. Well, like I always say, if you like these kind of videos, hit that thumbs up button. If you don't like them, hit the thumbs down button. But either way, leave me a comment telling me why. Also, leave me a comment and tell me if you like to see more woodshop videos, because I'll be honest, this fall and winter, once it gets dark out, we're going to have a lot of woodshop videos. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd love to have you. Click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to get notified every time I put out a video, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.